What's up, world? Welcome back to Radical Investors, where we talk about stock, crypto, and all the ways how to make the money. I'm Wasu.
I'm Hamed.
And today we're talking about one of our favorite companies, Ginkgo Bioworks.
Let's go.
Ginkgo Bioworks, ticker symbol currently SRNG, and it's going to be ticker symbol DNA. What a great ticker symbol for sure.
It's amazing. It's an amazing one.
So yesterday we brought you guys a couple videos on this particular company. As you guys already know, if you watch our channel, that it is one of our favorite companies, one of the most transformational companies right now that's on the market. They had a earnings call yesterday, kind of like just reviewing the first half. It wasn't anything anything super official, being that they're not actually a publicly traded company yet. But what they wanted to do was to kind of open up the books for all their investors currently and their potential investors to kind of really break down their business model, to break down where the money is coming from, and to make sure that we and you know how to really analyze their business.
Yeah, and that's one thing to note is this isn't something that we see from SPACs, right? Normally they submit their documents and we just have to base everything off of the document. So let's start off with the numbers.
Yeah, guys. So they increased their revenue 180% compared to where they were last year. It's up to $88 million. $400 million plus came from biosecurity contracts. And that's one of the more interesting things about this company is their nimbleness and their ability to, I don't want to say capitalize, but kind of take advantage of crises that come up in the world, right? So at the beginning part of this pandemic, they made a concerted effort to really be one of the companies out front in taking on the challenges of trying to help to bring COVID-19 to an end as fast as possible. Right. So they have kind of a rapid testing program that they've kind of rolled out through a lot of the states. They just got California yesterday. Right. They got New Jersey, New York, a whole bunch of other states, and it's pretty amazing because what they do is they help schools rapid test. So right now school is starting up in a lot of the states. Yeah. And there hasn't been a vaccination that has been approved for 12-year-olds and under, right? So what you have to do in that sense, you have to do tests over and over and over again, rapid testing. You have to be able to identify kids that have COVID-19 really early and make sure you're isolating them from the rest of the population, right? Right. So Ginkgo Bio helps with that, and they're winning contracts all over the country. And not only are they winning contracts all over the country, they also opened up their foundry. So that's their genetic synthesis program, right? That they opened up to a whole bunch of companies that were trying to find a cure for COVID-19. And one of those companies really came out with a specific protein that became very, very important, and they didn't take any money from this particular company. We'll put the link to this company. No, it wasn't Motif.
It was the other one. Okay.
It was the other one. I'm forgetting the name, but it was, and I don't have it on my notes, but we'll link it. And it's super important because that piece of code is gonna turn out to be worth a lot of money, right? And it's a important piece of genetic code when it comes to producing mRNA vaccinations, and they're looking to really grow a business around it. So I say all that to say something that they didn't think was going to be anything. Right? They just said, hey, we're willing to help, has turned into a pivotal part of their business.
This is definitely going to be recurring revenue for the next decade at least. Yeah. Because as we all know, this theme is not going away anytime soon. There's numerous new strands coming out.
Absolutely.
New boosters will be recommended and needed, and continual testing. Obviously starting in a public space, right? Like public schools, right? It's going to be there, but it's going to expand. We're probably going to see this at workplaces. Probably going to see that before you go to that football game.
Yeah, concerts, all kinds of crazy stuff. But that's, again, we talk about the nimbleness and the ability to pivot and capture different marketplaces. And that's what we love about their business model. The horizontal business model
approach
is super important. And not only just being horizontal, but being able to capture a market share is absolutely fantastic, and the team does just an incredible job in identifying new opportunities and attacking those opportunities. Just to circle around on those mRNA vaccinations. So right now we're talking about COVID, but they're already talking about developing mRNA vaccinations for HIV,
right,
syphilis, malaria, all kinds of crazy stuff, right? So we're just really at the beginning. So if with Ginkgo Bioworks, we talk so often about those killer apps being built on top of Ginkgo Bioworks, right? And if this particular protein becomes super pivotal to mRNA vaccines of the HIV, the malaria,
it's gonna open up a
right?
whole new
and Ginkgo
segment.
Bioworks gets a piece every single time. It's a can be a really, really beautiful thing. Can be a really beautiful business model.
No, it's endless, man. Yeah. It's endless.
So some other stuff. They bought a company, Dutch DNA. They do something, something scientisty. I don't know. They do something. I don't know. Let's see what else. We did get confirmation that they are going to have the merger mid-September. So that's something to look out for.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We don't necessarily have a recommendation just because we have seen over the last couple of months that SPACs, when they do merge, they tend to take a hit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, one of our other babies, Desktop Metal, is experiencing that right now, and we're still long. The company been buying these dips, but obviously we want to put you guys in the best position. So as we continuously recommend this company, one thing to think about and consider is maybe you put in that first set of investment just to get your hands on some Ginkgo right now, but also kind of just keep that ready for when it does experience a dip, because it probably will.
You want to make sure that you're spreading your allocation for DNA, right? Ginkgo Bioworks, you want to make sure that you're spreading that over time. Just with SPACs, you want to be definitely careful. We saw this with Joby a few days ago, right, where it popped. It was a SPAC, the aviation, the VTOL SPAC that we're big on as well. It popped, and we said, oh, this is going to be a runner, and then now it's trading underneath the floor price of the SPAC. So that action, we can't see that action right now because that just seems like what the market wants.
Yeah, it's kind of the wave right now. So we still love these companies, but we just want to put you guys in the best position as far as what your average price is in those stocks.
Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, I want to point out, so before we get into their business models, just one thing I loved on the call was them emphasizing their sales team. They talked about how they are aggressively going out trying to get business, and I like hearing that from a biotech company, right? It's something that's kind of we see coming from the real estate sales side, where you have to go out and hunt, right? And that's what they're doing in their space. They're hunting for business. They're not just waiting for people to come to them with their problems and giving them solutions.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely a great point. And it's actually something that's very integral to their business model. So the R&D piece of their business model, right? So they have the R&D piece and then basically the royalty piece, right? Mm-hmm. That R&D piece, that money's already getting spent today, right? Companies are already spending that money today, right? So their job right now is to make sure that they're going out and getting that money that they're going to spend, and having those companies outsource that spend to their company, right? And that's one of the beauties of this company. They can do a lot of the R&D work that these companies are already doing cheaper and faster, right?
Yeah.
And that's a really, really good thing that people love to see.
Yeah, actually, and just with my background in accounting, it's kind of clever because you're kind of reducing. Well, I mean, it's an expense on one side still, but I mean, if you can bring down your actual cost, that's improving in a way, right, inadvertently the revenue of those companies that they are working with. So it might, so basically it's like it's offshoring, right? You're offshoring your resources, right? So you're bringing your costs down. Those companies could potentially bring their costs down extremely low by working with a Ginkgo.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And the last thing, the two last things that we wanted to say, they continue to add people, world-class people to their board. They added the CEO of to their board. A whole bunch of amazing people are on their board. Check it out. We'll leave the link down below. They're building a world-class board that can really help them, guide them in taking over different spaces, from therapeutics to industrial. There's a whole bunch of things that they're looking to do, and a whole bunch of spaces that they're looking to conquer, and the board is going to help them. And probably the last thing that we want to mention is their investment in a company in Motif, which we didn't know they do, right? So it turns out that companies that launch on their platform, sometimes they take investments in those companies, and up to 30%. And we think that's absolutely fantastic, because again, they're closer to the project than we are. And Jason, the CEO, said, you don't necessarily want to be in the position where you're picking winners and losers, but when you know that a certain project is being built on your platform that's going to be that killer app, why not take a 30% stake in that? Yeah,
and it's major to us, because again, that's them being creative in how they're going about getting this revenue, right? These let's say smaller companies that are building out their products utilizing Ginkgo, that might not have the money right now, and Ginkgo recognizes they have a brilliant team, they're solving a brilliant issue. They provide them with the equipment, they provide them with all the tools, they take a 30% cut. I mean, they're now playing an investor. They're now a venture capital. So it's awesome to see, again, that horizontal model is really what we're seeing, is it being expressed in so many different ways. And I'm sure over the next courses of years and months even, you'll see different ways of how that comes out, right?
Yeah.
There's really no end to where they go. They seem to be very clever in how they're going about getting that revenue. So that's something that we love to see. They're after the money.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Guys, it was a long one. That was our thoughts on Ginkgo Bio's earnings call, ticker symbol DNA, coming in September. Watch out for this company. We think it's going to be a big one. As always, happy hunting. Catch you on the next one.
Peace.